Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. Oh my God, what is Maresca doing? You're sacking yourself, mate, at the worst possible time. Some incredible comments from him. How long will he survive at Chelsea now? We'll talk about that after his incredible outburst after their win against Everton. Also, an interesting weekend where everybody would have predicted Arsenal winning and they were the ones that nearly blew it. Some very uniform wins, some impressive wins as well. Get your comments in below. What was the performance of the week? I want to start doing this weekly. For me, I think it was either Forest beating Spurs 3-0 or Villa against West Ham. Both those results are very, very good. But look, let's start off with Maresca. Very good result for Chelsea at the weekend. And we're going to show you the league table momentarily. But I think that what really caught my eye, and I'll pop it up for you there, was that Chelsea got a good result. That was a good result for them after a bit of a blip after the 10-men draw against Arsenal. Good result, and that's all that matters. Similar with Liverpool. But what he said after the game about it being the worst 48 hours before the game and his time at Chelsea and not getting support. And then he's just done another interview ahead of their Carabao Cup game saying, I'm not going to talk about it anymore. That's not the sort of club to play that game. Like, you know what? We've seen, you've got to be in a very powerful position. I saw Wayne Rooney saying it's a bit like the Mo Salah information thing last week. But Mo Salah is a Premier League and Liverpool legend who was ill-advised doing what he did, but he can do that from a position of strength. Maresca is not in that position of strength at Chelsea. I think there are even Chelsea fans that aren't convinced about him. I think he's got money in the bank because of what he's done by putting them in the top four, reasonably well in the Champions League, won the Club World Cup. So, and he's building some stability there. But I wouldn't say he's untouchable. And more importantly, he obviously hasn't said that without something going on anyway. So it's not like if he's talking about the owners or a CEO or whatever, it's not like they're going to be surprised by it because they'll have lived the last 48 hours with him. So is there trouble at Chelsea and could more change be coming down the road? I just think as an employer, when somebody, or as a club owner to be specific, when the manager undermines you publicly, you're in charge, and then it becomes a battle of wills. And when you look at Chelsea's next three games, away at Newcastle, Villa at home, and then Bournemouth, I think at home as well, yeah, they could take 9 points, they could take 7, but a couple of losses out of those, and I think his position becomes very, very, shaky going into the new year. So, look, keep your eyes on that. Do you think Maresca is going to see out the season at Chelsea? As I say, it's not the sort of club that shies away from sacking managers. And we've already seen stuff about Thomas Frank and Xavi. So, look, there are managers out there that would take that Chelsea job. I mean, they're a very good team. Very good team. And they're doing well at the moment. I think 4th place, good result for them. Liverpool, spoke about them yesterday morning. Just by the way, no watch-alongs this weekend. Wasn't meant to be like that. Just an impromptu 3 days away with the family at Centre Parks. So we just got away and had a little bit of a break, which was nice. But it meant no watch-along, so they will be back for this weekend. But I got away with it. You know what? I did get away with it because there wasn't really a game over the weekend that I thought, oh, I wish I'd been doing a watch-along for that. I've missed out there. Liverpool uniform win against Brighton. Chelsea uniform win against Everton. Man City yesterday against Palace, comfortably winning. Arsenal got the job done, although that would have been a major. That one would have. I was never going to do Arsenal against Wolves as a watch-along. No way. Saturday night, 8 o'clock, Arsenal-Wolves. No way. And yet it did end up being the best game. And it just shows you in the Premier League. You never know. You never know, do you? But Arsenal got the job done as well. Newcastle-Sunderland was really disappointing. They've got a sports bar at Centre Parks, and it was at the one in Sherwood Forest, which is probably the closest Premier League club there would be Nottingham Forest. So there's a lot of Forest fans watching the Spurs game. I wanted to watch the Newcastle-Sunderland game, but to be fair, Forest pummeled Spurs. And, we talk about managers, Eddie Howe, Thomas Frank. I mean, you can't see either of those managers on there anymore, which I think's a big, big problem for them. Because, look, if 23 points is Brighton and 26 points is 5th, take a look at where those two clubs are now. You've got Newcastle on 22 and Spurs on 22. I mean, it's still only 4 points off 5th place, but it's so congested above you, and the games don't get any easier. Chelsea have got Newcastle. Newcastle got Chelsea at home on Saturday, and then they go to Old Trafford. I can't see them getting 6 points. So where do they get moving up? Spurs again. I don't know. I don't look at Spurs and go, oh, they're going to go and win their next 3. So look, Thomas Frank. Sack him if you want, though. I don't know where you'd go. Ooh, Xavi, you still got the same players that are light switch players. Newcastle, I think it's a funny one. I think they're a very good team. I just think he got his tactics completely wrong. Going to Sunderland and playing defensive like that, as we were saying with Robbie this morning, was shocking, really. They've got better players than Sunderland. Sunderland are a good team, but it should have been a more open game, and I thought it was disappointing, but it's a very good result for Sunderland, who, again, the amazing thing about Sunderland is, by the new year, they might have the 35 points they need to stay up. And they are going to stay up. That's not, that's offensive to them to say that. But at the start of the season, it would have been about getting 35 points as quick as you can. They could do it in half a season, which is incredible for them. So very, very good for them. But I thought Villa, I'm not putting Villa in a title race, but I do think that Villa result was absolutely brilliant against West Ham. To go behind twice again, it reminded me of the Brighton game a couple of weeks ago. It's such a bad start to the season, but they're on such a good run now. How good can this Villa side be? I mean, I think they'll win the Europa League because Man United and Spurs got to the Europa League final last year and we were shite. Emery's won it before. I think Villa can win the Europa League, get a trophy which their fans will love, and go back in the Champions League, and you'd be very, very happy with that. They're almost jeopardising it by doing really well in the Prem, because once they hit March, April, May, and you're playing Thursday, Sunday, I've never seen a team do both. One has to give, and it's normally the league form to focus on the Europa League. But if Villa were in the top 3, close to the top 2, would you give up on the Europa League and just go, well, we're going to get Champions League football anyway, let's dare to dream? Will he get backed in January again? I mean, it's incredible what Villa are doing at the moment, and fair play to them. Fair play. Man City, very good result. You can see why Arsenal fans aren't happy. I would look at that game as an Arsenal fan and go, yeah, you know what, bad performance, but we got the 3 points. I think the big problem is Man City look so good, and Man City are ahead of schedule. And look, we're in a weird times. I don't slate Man City much this season, apart from the fact that I don't like Man City, but I don't like Liverpool, and I've given them credit over the years. I would give Man City credit. They play good football, much better than any Pep team I've ever seen. They've got some really good players. They're a little bit more direct. They do concede goals, which makes them entertaining, although they did get a clean sheet against Palace. And they're a new team as well. I will put my hands up and say, if Pep Guardiola wins the league with this team, that's not changing 1 or 2 players. It's a different style of play, and it's a very different team, and he's rebuilt a team, much the same as Sir Alex did multiple times. So exciting times for Man City, and I think they are playing the best football in the Premier League. Doesn't mean they're the best team in the Premier League, because Arsenal are top, but are Arsenal starting to feel a bit of the pressure? Let's see what happens. They've got some very winnable games, Arsenal, but Wolves was very winnable, and it only just got the job done. So Man City are putting the pressure on. Got an interesting title race, and I'm looking forward to that. But Villa, fair play. Chelsea, we've mentioned. Palace, suffering from Thursday night football as well, let's not forget. Liverpool back to business, but they've got to keep going. Just looking at the Premier League weekend to come, Liverpool go to Spurs on Saturday. It's a super Saturday this weekend. I'm looking forward to it. Newcastle, Chelsea at 12:30. And then Spurs against Liverpool at 5:30. Everton, Arsenal at 8 o'clock. It's an absolutely action-packed Saturday, which we will be doing 3 watch-alongs for you for. Going to be very, very good. Villa host Man United on the Sunday in the last games before Christmas, unless you want to watch Forest against Fulham on the Monday. So, yeah, lots to get involved in. Make sure you give me a comment. How long's Maresca going to last? What's your game of the week? I'm going to go Villa against West Ham. I thought it was very good. West Ham are a better team now as well, to come back from behind twice and win it. And who's your pick for the title at the moment? I'm still saying Arsenal. Make sure you smash a like and subscribe back. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you all in a bit. Take care.